as everyone already knows, right? The habeas corpus for medicine was approved. The habeas corpus for nursing was denied. Guys, what is habeas corpus? I'm going to read it here. It's a fundamental legal instrument in Brazil. It's in the 1988 federal constitution, which protects the freedom of movement, in other words, the right to come and go, against illegal arrests or threats or abuses of power, acting as an urgent remedy to ensure that no one is detained without just cause or due legal process, even without a lawyer and always free of charge. It aims to release someone from an unjust imprisonment or prevent an imminent threat. It is granted by a judge or court when there is a violation or risk of violation of the right to come and go. The nursing technician is at risk of being arrested at any moment, while the doctor is not at risk of being arrested until the investigation and everything is judged. That's what we're going to talk about here now. Let's go. I always say that here. The rope always breaks on the side with less knowledge. It's for the weaker side. You consider yourself weak because I don't consider myself weak, right? So let's think that way. So let's go to appellate judges. An appellate judge is a judge who, after a certain amount of time as a judge, you automatically become an appellate judge. If I'm not mistaken, that's how it works. Let's say it's a legal career path, right? So, an appellate judge is nothing more, nothing less than a judge with many years of experience as a judge. A judge had the following view. Look, the doctor was doing her job, working, and she can't be arrested because she was working. She didn't leave home to kill anyone. So, when we start analyzing all the facts, no one left home to do harm, but harm can happen. So that was the understanding of this judge who granted habeas corpus to the doctor who is under investigation in Benicio's death. On the other hand, another judge evaluated the situation for the nursing technician and did not grant habeas corpus. And in the judge's statement, or in the statement of the person who was interpreting there, he said the following: the doctor prescribed it, but someone else administered it. The person who administered it should have known that the prescribed dosage was wrong, so she wasn't aware of it. So I'm going to take a break now and I'll be back, and I'm going to say something here. I don't know if you've been following me here on YouTube just recently or if you've been following me for a long time. For those who've been following me for a long time, I always say, and I will keep saying the same thing. You study pharmacology to gain knowledge, regardless of whether you can prescribe or not. That's what I teach to my nursing technician who buys my medication administration course, a technician. To me, he is just like a nurse and just like a doctor when it comes to knowledge of pharmacology. In fact, I only have one medication administration course, and I have countless nurses, technicians, doctors, and pharmacists who have already taken this course. I'm not promoting the course. What I mean is the course hasn't changed. So, what I explained in the course, whether the person who bought it is a technician or a doctor. Pharmacology is the same for everyone. The competencies are different. The doctor needs the knowledge to diagnose and prescribe. The technician needs knowledge because he manages. The pharmacist needs knowledge because he is the one who has control over the medications. He approves, doesn't approve, puts a lock, a protocol, something like that. That's the pharmacist. I've been saying for many years, guys, you need to have knowledge. Because if the doctor makes a mistake, you make a mistake too. I always say this: if the doctor falls into a hole, you fall in with him. That's what I say. If you go back and watch some old videos here on the channel, which have been published for many years, you'll find the same statement that the judge made. Wait, I made a mistake here, but applied it here, made another mistake and applied it again. In other words, I'm not agreeing with the judge. I'm just saying that the judge used something that he used what I said, but he used the interpretation of something I said, which is you also need to have as much knowledge as the person who prescribes, even if you don't prescribe the medication.
Do you get the point?
I'm not going to say the judge is right. I'm far from protecting a judge or trying to get the nursing technician in trouble. I'm not trying to make you understand what this judge interpreted, because another judge could interpret it differently. That the doctor has to have knowledge because she prescribed it, she chose the medication, she chose the dosage. He could also have not granted bioscope to the doctor. So, from my point of view, from my logical point of view, right? I'm not even from the legal field. I think the weight was uneven. The weight was uneven. Allow it for both or for neither. Either both have Habeas corpus or neither does. Why? If both should have the same level of knowledge, both made mistakes. One prescribed and the other applied. If it's not allowed for the technician, it's not allowed for the doctor. I want you to understand the following. Having knowledge gets you out of these traps. These are traps, you understand? Why? Because the guy interpreted it the way he wanted and the other one interpreted it the way he wanted or the way he could. Their access to knowledge, and that's what happened. So guys, for God's sake, just so you understand, had doubts. It's a medication you've never taken in your life. Ask. Go after the nurse. If the nurse doesn't know either, look for another nurse, look for a doctor, ask questions, take courses, buy pharmacology books, get qualified. Because here's the thing. A technician can be arrested at any time. I don't think that's fair because the doctor won't get the same sentence, let's say, the same freedom to live, you know? In other words, she can be arrested at any moment, while the doctor won't be arrested until everything is judged. The technician can be arrested at any moment, even before having a trial. Do you understand? So that's how it is. Unfortunately, this happened, but let this be an example for you who are here watching. You haven't left the video until now. If you're in doubt, study. Don't do it. Take what you do seriously. The salary isn't good, but don't let that be an excuse not to study. If you think that where you work you're putting lives at risk, resign. It's cheaper to be unemployed than to work in those lousy hospitals out there putting lives at risk. Now I ask, who's going to pay for the nurse technician's lawyer? Is it the hospital? The Corem. Who's going to pay for the lawyer, or is she going to have to pay for it herself? So when it's time for you to say no and someone gives you a dirty look, it's better that than having something like this happen. And then you'll be in the spotlight, you'll be judged anyway. So I really regret everything that's happening. The life of a child, the life of the parents, which is definitely turned upside down. The situation with the doctor, I don't wish anything bad for the doctor. I don't wish anything bad for the technician. But look, the outcome was so negative. Everything could have been different. You know what I mean? I've always done it this way, but the day it goes wrong, the bill comes in, it's expensive, the bill comes in, it's expensive. So, studying is the cheapest way you have to prevent risks to other people and to your career. Think about it. Don't stop studying, don't stop improving yourself, don't do things if you're unsure. Even if someone steps on you, looks at you sideways, or calls you dumb, there are no dumb people, only people lacking knowledge. No one knows everything. I don't know everything. If you put me in a neonatal intensive care unit, I won't know many things, but I'll learn just like you. So we need to understand this and take it into our lives. Don't do anything if you're in doubt, because now in a situation like this, you're at the mercy of the law and we don't know how this will end for everyone involved.